Hi, this is Z Zen. Let's get more comfortable with this implicit operation. P implies Q. Let's start with this sentence. Whenever a friend visits his home, John opens a bottle of wine. Let's see, the visit is P. And then the open action is the Q. We can easily say, well, if P, a friend visit, then Q. All right? Then we have a truth table of this two-variable logic operation function. P implies Q. So 1, 0, 1, 1 in the last column. Let's interpret them. Let's examine the property of these two-variable logic function. P and Q are variables, and this output and P imply Q. And you would think the output would be probably tied to the truthfulness of the above statement, true or false, which will lead to a very interesting result you will see in a second. Now, if in a case a friend visit, Jiang opened a bottle of wine, so that maybe implies a true. And then, so if a friend visit, Jiang didn't open, that maybe imply a false. Okay, that's by mistake. Then the question occurs. So how about nobody visit? John still opened a bottle of wine just for his own enjoyment. Does that imply a true for here? So whenever a friend visits his home, John opens a bottle of wine, and I have a little bit concerned about that. And then this is even worse. So nobody visits, nothing happens, you have a true. So does that also true? Obviously, based on your intuition, there is something to be explained, to be clarified in this situation, right? Okay, actually, it puzzles many people, but that's just a kind of a misunderstanding of this function and this assumption. Let's look at this second statement here. John has not broken his promise yet. So maybe let's examine this function. The output should really tied to this second function, the truthfulness of the second logic function. If you let's examine it one by one. So if nobody visit, John opened a wine for his self-enjoyment, but then, and that has nothing to do with the above statement. But John has not broken his promise yet. So that true will tie to this true. And of course, if nothing happens, then nothing happens. And this is true should be John has not broken his promise yet. And even the first one, John opened the wine because some friend visit, and then still John didn't promise from yet. So then this third one, this contrapositive one, John didn't open the wine and break his promise, and when the friend did visit, and then this would tie to the 0 for this statement. So the conclusion is this output of this implicit function is really equals the truthfulness of the second statement instead of the first one. So even you might start to write the implicit function from the first statement. Whenever a friend visits his home, John opens up a bottle of wine. If P then Q, that's all nice. Then you get an implicit logic function, two variable. But the logic function's output should really equal to the truthfulness of the second statement. John has not broken his promise yet. So you start from the first statement, but the logic function, the implicit function, is output to the truthfulness of the second function. But there's one more thing to notice. But that doesn't mean doesn't have anything to do with the first statement. But in case this is false, okay, in the second statement is false, it really lead to the denying of that. So if John has broken his promise, then it really reject the first statement whenever he was 0, and then make you think. First, you mistakenly think, well, that may directly make a rejection. Well, in case it's true, but actually go through here. And then you should think all the output should go to this statement. So, if you didn't open the wine, then this line will make this second statement. First, he broke his promise, so that is false, he did, and that will reject the first statement, not true. But the question to you is, what should have happened to make the first statement true then? How? Okay, so that I will give you some hint. You have to think about this whenever. So what should happen? So this ends this video with a question. You can post in the discussion to the answer. How do you make, what takes it to prove that this first statement is true?